Hello and welcome to the Ninqueso Exploring Japan channel, where I am on a journey to find out everything I can about Japan, the people, the culture, and today about just how I can get a free house over there. And now, I'm not going to say like I wouldn't like a free house because I quite insects on me. Now, I'm not going to turn down a free house because let's face it, I ain't ever going to be able to afford to buy one here in the UK. So I'm broadening my horizons. Now, I have heard about this before, and I know there's a lot more to it than it just being a free house. I know there's like taxes involved. You have to like live there and things like that. But this is why I'm here, to watch a dedicated video to find out just how someone can go about being given a house in Japan. So let us sit back and find out.
So this is a free house in Japan. The home value of this house is 0.
That is good value, 0. I like where this is starting. I do get the feeling there's going to be some sort of hidden taxes though.
Japanese, these houses are called akiya, which literally translates to
and maybe needing quite a bit of work. And I'm not the best person when it comes to handyman work.
abandoned house. It's a fascinating phenomenon that has been going on for several years now. As you may already know, Japan's population
some of these are looking quite bad,
aging rapidly, and many of their citizens are moving to the cities, leaving behind their homes in the countryside. So what's the problem? The government has realized that they can't let these houses go to waste or stay abandoned, and they've come up with a plan to give them away for either free or at a very low price.
Is there any sort of like grant available for like fixing them up? Because some of them look quite in a bad state and I couldn't even afford to do that really.
This plan has sparked a lot of interest and controversy, and that's what we'll be discussing in this video. If you're new here, my name is Shumatsu Post and welcome to my channel. I'm Japanese and a long distance real estate investor in Japan, but don't invest here in Japan. Later in this video, I'm going to explain why I don't invest in Japan, even though I qualify for a mortgage with a very low interest rate, or I can get a free IKEA house or 3. Let's get started.
First,
let's talk about why Japan is giving away these abandoned houses. As I mentioned earlier, Japan's population is aging really fast, and this has led to a significant decline in the population.
See, the thing is, out of those two shots, that one looks much nicer to live in than the first one. You know, that's just so much nicer.
Of rural areas.
I want to live somewhere like that.
More younger people are moving into cities. As a result, many houses are being abandoned and left to deteriorate. This is a pretty big problem because it can lead to a decline of entire towns and communities. To tackle this issue, the Japanese government has introduced a program called the Akiya Bank, which encourages people to move into these abandoned houses for free or at a very low price. The Japanese government wants to revitalize the countryside.
I'm liking the very low price or free option. I can imagine I might not qualify, you know, being in the UK.
Incentivizing people to move to rural areas and breathe new life into dying towns and villages. This could potentially create jobs, increase tourism, and contribute to the overall.
There you go. I'll help out. Give me a free house in Japan. I'll make loads of videos in the surrounding countryside and stuff, upload them to my Roam with Queso channel, and those 4 subscribers might want to come over and experience it. It's win-win.
Local economy. And you might be wondering why people would want to move into these abandoned houses. Well, the main reason is affordability. Many of these houses are being offered for free or at a very low price, which is attractive to people who want to own their own home but can't afford to buy one in the cities. Another reason why Japan is giving away abandoned homes is to address its declining birth rate. Japan's birth rate has been
See, I'm not going to help out there though, I'm afraid. You know, no.
Declining since 1973, and the population is decreasing pretty rapidly since 2011. In 2020, Japan's population declined by a record-breaking 400,000 people. So a shrinking population and more people moving into cities like Tokyo, Yokohama, Osaka, Nagoya, and Fukuoka. It makes sense the government is incentivizing people to take over those abandoned homes for free. So what's the catch? Well, there are a few things you need to consider.
Here we go.
Before actually taking advantage of this program. First, many of these houses are old and require extensive renovation. This can cost you a lot of money and time. In Japan,
see, I thought that when I looked at some of the pictures of them.
Rehab costs tend to be very high compared to many other countries. For example, my parents renovated a unit of their duplex after my grandparents passed away, and we invested about $60,000 to make a 2-bedroom, 1-bath unit rent ready for Airbnb. And that's not cheap to fix up a small unit. To compare that with the rehab project I'm doing now for a 2-unit property in the US, it's about $30,000. It's a big difference. Even if
I guess the big difference there is, though, you don't have the initial outlay of buying the property if they are free.
if you wanted to fix it yourself, these houses are
See, that's really nice. I like that. I love tatami.
often built in the traditional Japanese style. Don't expect good insulation or sometimes even air conditioners to work well. These
I'm in the UK. We don't have air conditioning. I lived for quite a while without heaters as well.
houses were usually built to let air flow through naturally. So if you want a modern house with modern amenities, it's going to cost you almost as much as building a new house from scratch. Second, many of these houses are often located in remote areas far from cities you may recognize.
That's
so
fine.
you need to be prepared for an entirely different lifestyle.
I'm good.
Another important
good
point
with
to
that.
consider is the legal side of things. If you're a foreigner, it might be
yeah.
challenging to navigate the Japanese property market. So it's really important to do your research and consult with experts before making any decisions. Japanese is a difficult language, so understanding
I'm trying. I'm doing my best. I'm trying to learn Japanese.
all the nuances
Still not confident enough to like say anything yet, though.
of purchasing one of these is important. Sometimes you're required to live at the address for a certain number of years. That being said, if you're considering moving to Japan or want to live in the countryside of Japan, an IKEA might work for you. As long as you know what you're getting into, it definitely isn't completely free as they make it sound, but it is an option.
Yeah,
For me
it's
and
like-
my family,
I knew there would be like more to it than just a here totally free. They're the keys. Happy, happy, happy. Off you go.
as much as we loved real estate and the ability to value add, it just didn't make sense. We wanted to live closer to a city, not far off in the countryside, at least for now. If being in the countryside and the traditional Japanese style house appeals to you, it might be worth looking.
It does a little bit, but then again, I don't think I'll get citizenship because, you know, I'm unfit at the moment and I don't have a job. I don't have any income. Unless one of these YouTube channels suddenly starts going off crazy. Hint, hint, please subscribe.
Into. But if you're looking into it from a real estate investing point of view, keep this in mind. One of the best ways to make money in real estate is called house hacking. The most typical way is you buy a multifamily building and rent out the other units or even rent out extra bedrooms. While not impossible to do this in Japan, doing that with an IKEA is very difficult.
I'd imagine so, because they're like not in places where people want to live, hence they're being given away in the first place.
For the same reasons that we've spoken about. Usually they're abandoned for a reason. Trying to sell it for profit later on as well probably isn't something you can rely on. While appreciation is never guaranteed in any market, it is generally expected as something that will happen in the long haul. Japan, on the other hand, only the land can appreciate. The house or building only loses value. For example, the structure of a newly built home will lose about half of its value in 10 years. So if you have land in an area where there's a ton of land, there will not be much demand later on. The idea of a free house, free land is an incredible appeal to many people, and I think in certain situations it could be great. As a real estate investor though, I would caution people that it might not be as amazing as it sounds to get something for free. So
I think, like I say, that's very contextual, isn't it? I think if you're actually planning to like live somewhere and settle down there, then it could be a very, very good thing. But yeah, obviously if you just want to like flip it and make lots of money, not the best.
let's recap who should be looking into buying these IKEA homes and who shouldn't. Consider buying an IKEA if you yearn for a home in the Japanese countryside, far from the hustle and bustle
Okay.
of big city life.
I checked
Want
that
to reduce
one.
housing expenses as much as possible while living in a large
I'm quite poor, so that is good.
house with big open space. Have a remote job where you can work from anywhere. Plan on
YouTube. That's what I'm trying to do. Please sub to all my channels.
owning it for a long time because you probably won't be able to sell it
That's
for
fine.
profit
That's
or
fine.
at all in the future. Do not buy an IKEA if you want to build wealth through real estate investing.
No.
You're not planning on living there yourself
No.
for the experience. Like to travel internationally because getting to an airport will be a hike. Japan's decision to give away millions of abandoned homes is a response to a variety of issues facing the country, including aging populations, declining birth rates, and economic downturns. By encouraging people to
See, I think I actually, on the plus sides there, you know, remote job, I can just film the local like areas and stuff, upload it to YouTube, do explores, do hikes, learn things. I'm sold.
move to rural areas
BP. Yay or nay? Just think of all the cats we could have, though.
and revitalizing dying towns and villages, the government is hoping to address these issues and create a brighter future for Japan. Unfortunately, these incentives aren't enticing enough to make the kind of change the country wants to see. In my opinion, there's only one way to save these free houses from staying abandoned. Japan needs to let more immigrants in to take these homes, create jobs,
Hello.
revitalize the economy. Since our birth rate isn't going to turn around anytime soon, this is the only way to increase the population of the country. To be honest, I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon either. It probably won't happen in my lifetime. This is exactly why buying real estate in Japan is a very risky investment decision. You see,
I don't want to buy real estate for like the sake of owning real estate. It's for the sake of like living somewhere that I think is really peaceful and beautiful and, you know, just away from people, just quiet, secluded, fending off the bears. Sounds good to me. Right. I think that's it. I think the last bit of the video is just him talking about investing and real estate and things like that, which I don't really care about, you know. I just like the idea of living somewhere nice, remote and quiet. But anyway, that was a video by oh no, it's a hard name, Shao Matsu Post. I know he said it at the start. I do apologize if I have butchered the name, but if you did like their video, I will leave a link in the description and you can go over and give their video a like. But if you did like my video, then please make sure you do the same and hit that like button. And also, while you're there, let me know what you think about the potential of getting free houses. And is it something that you would think, do you know what? That actually sounds quite good. I would like to live somewhere remote. Or are you someone that is just like, do you know, no, I need the hustle bustle of the city. For me, somewhere quiet is nice. It would be good if it was like close to like a bus or a train, so you could get to the bigger places in not too long a journey. But on the whole, quiet life sounds good to me these days. But thank you so much for making it through to the end of this video. And if you'd like to see more of my journey as I try to learn everything I can about Japan, make sure you hit that subscribe button. But until next time, be nice to people. Bye.